Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way. Don't ask for all your things back, cussing out my name, yeah, just to go and take back what you say. Burn all the bridges, don't ask forgiveness, walk away like I'm someone you hate. Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way.
If it's over, so fuck it. Just don't act like my love wasn't nothing. Like I wasn't the one you was holding that night, telling all of your secrets and hugging. Guess you right, it's too good to be true. Was the point, all I needed was you. But shit, time after time, I just fussing and fighting each time that you do what you do. And it's cool. Mama said it was fish in the sea, I got lost in the pool. Knew it was coming, I watched how you move, how you turn your back on me and leave me to lose. Remember the text, how you said that you do. Said that you never leave, we would fight till it's due. But as it went on, I was fighting for you. Since the text turned green, why the fuck it ain't blue? Guess you done and I get it. Said you stay and you wanted my name and you left, so I'm guessing that you never meant it. Said you try and hold on cause the love was so strong, now I'm standing alone in this kitchen. Singing sad songs, but I'm knowing that this shit don't last long. If you leaving, then leave cause your bag's gone. But just know you can never come back home.
Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way. Don't ask for all your things back, cussing out my name, yeah, just to go and take back what you say. Burn all the bridges, don't ask forgiveness, walk away like I'm someone you hate. Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way.
If you say that you done, ain't no take back. Said you fell out of love and I hate that. But see me, I was stuck like a drug, really feeling for love and somehow I can't shake back. When you walked out that door, I was hurting. All the dreams in my head, you was perfect. You remember the very first time that we chilled and I reached for your hand where the nerves at. Time to pass, but shit, that's what it do. It be times I be sick sitting thinking about you. It was death do us part. You gave me the blue, really played with my heart. Left me lost in confused. Like this shit was fair game, but you made it the rules. On my heart, left a scar and a bruise. Hope that you can stand on all the shit that you did. I'm done, y'all finally through.
Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way. Don't ask for all your things back, cussing out my name, yeah, just to go and take back what you say. Burn all the bridges, don't ask forgiveness, walk away like I'm someone you hate. Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way.
You got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Got the devil in your eyes. You went and took me by surprise. Say what you wanna say, I won't go back. If you wanna hit the road, then let's go then. Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden.
Testing, alright. You can cut out that other shit.
Hey, yo, aim. Yeah.
up, Blondo. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, bitch, I'm from Texas, where we still riding swangers and put diamonds in our necklace. Pour drink inside my lemonade till it look like a Pepsi. See, I come from the D where we got checks and we be flexing. If you ain't from my state, then you should know don't fuck with Texas. Hey, we always strapped, we keep our weapons. My mama from the 8, she slowed it down for me at 7. Used to think Pimp C was a guy before he went to heaven. I knew what pushing P was before Gunna even said it. Hey, C0 taught me keep my weapon and never trust a nigga or a bitch cause it's expected. No killers from the country, they ride horses and throw sevens. Got niggas in the east ride ATVs with Mac 11s.
First off, you better remember what that sign say before you come down here to this bitch. Don't mess with Texas. Cause you know everybody around this bitch got guns, nigga.
Hey, see, I'm from Texas. We got Beyonce, Trade the Truth, and we can't forget Devin. Big shout out to them boys, and I can't forget back from Texas. I've been feeling like Luca, how I bought that shit a blessing. #1 rule in Texas, keep it solid, ain't no telling. Hey, and always keep your fucking weapon. A nigga try me or the guys, we got no choice but stretch him. If he survive these shots at first, bet he die on that stretcher. These diamonds, I got water, might just go Johnny my next one. Hey, this Texas tea is what I drink. Sauce Walker had us dripping, sauce having hoes in on drink. Young Nasa had us jigging, dipping, ain't know how to think. Now I got all these niggas stepping, swiping, catching plays. Hey.
What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? Welcome to Special Media, brought to you by Club MX Practice Facility. As you guys already know, my name is Special Ed, and tonight we got some MXL amateur GP racing coming at you here very shortly. Just getting everything up and running, getting everything dialed in as we get ready to go racing. As always, huge shout out to everybody that's been hitting that follow button. Seen a couple of them pop in. A-Tabs, Bailey, Boring Games. What is going on, everyone? Welcome on in. And as we start to get ready for our racing action, was just glancing over some of our qualifying times. Looks like a lot of fast riders here in the mix. Cutoff tonight was a 140.8. So it looks like our top 5 riders all getting cut from tonight's racing, trying to keep things as fair as we possibly can. It does look like our main is up, so make sure you guys are jumping into that. If you are racing here tonight, you don't want to miss anything. And also waiting for the man Rico himself to whitelist me. And as always, we are going to be rolling through our normal procedures here, shouting out everybody that supports us and everybody that helps us along the way. Everybody on that MXL crew, obviously hosting such a phenomenal race series of Pro-Am yesterday, coming into the M's here today. These guys have been absolutely killing it. So huge shout out to the MXL guys, TPR crew. Huge shout out to Toasty, Dirt Lab, and Effortless Suspension for helping us out here in the special media booth. Kind of, if you guys don't know, they've ran a few race series and they also run a race team. And they were one of the first few groups that actually gave me a shot at streaming their events. So huge shout out to Toasty and that whole crew. AB Customs, the man Bryce himself. If you guys are looking for any boots, helmets, gear, anything in that sort, make sure you guys check out the AB Customs Discord to find what you guys may be looking for as well. TH Visuals, the man Thunder, he's been absolutely killing it in the game of graphics. We do have a 1,000 follower giveaway going to be coming up here hopefully very shortly, as you guys have been absolutely killing it lately. That we're going to be doing a bike giveaway, and actually may have something a little in the works here. That the name just above my head here, VM Visuals, the 3D renders, the modeling, the whole 9 yards. Make sure you guys are checking all of these guys out on their Discords, as they do such a phenomenal job But once again, for that 1,000 follower mark, we might be playing around with something here. Not only with the TH Visuals bike, but maybe something from VM Visuals that he may be throwing in for you guys. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. We're going to grab all the followers in one big list. Basically do a wheel spin. Probably grab about 10 or so people out of that list that are going to be getting a special media TH Visuals bike. And once again, maybe something from that VM Visuals side as well. So huge shout out to those guys. And last but not least, the title sponsor of Special Media, Club MX Practice Facility out of Chesterfield, South Carolina. Those guys, unbelievable facility. If you guys haven't seen it, it's hard to explain it. And they have 2-3 supercross tracks, 2-3 outdoor tracks, a sand track. I know they've been getting into doing some of like the GNCC and GP style tracks as well. So huge shout out to the club guys for putting their beliefs in us and jumping into the world of MX bikes. I know it's a little uncharted territory for some of those big guys, but it's always really cool to bring in some IRL sponsors into the game of bikes. But once again, that does not happen if it weren't for everybody hanging out with us and watching all of our streams. Already seen a bunch of people hanging out with us in chat. Got Nomkins in there. We got Bailey. Nomkins saying that should have practiced a little less. Bailey actually getting cut. That is unfortunate, man. You always got to watch out for that. And as always, if you are running faster lap times, go check out the amateur class on Mondays. I know it's not for everyone. Not everyone can make it, but that is definitely a really, really fun class to be in and a lot of fun to be watching from here in Special Media. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. Bailey also saying he was running a 143 on a Husky yesterday, missed the ARL cutoff to get on a KTM, and he's too fast. That is unfortunate, man. But hey, at least you get to hang out and watch some great racing action here in Special Media. Shout out and hang out with all the homies and root for your guys. But we're just loading into the servers here, getting ready to get things rolling. And so with our cutoffs, I do believe our top qualifier is going to be Dylan, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, Dylan on that Outlaw CYS TM, our fastest qualifier. Excited to see this TM on track. Nomkins, I know a couple guys starting to ride that TM. A little interesting. We also got Brad, the privateer rider. Zex, a privateer rider as well. Vincent on that Spider Racing Veggies. Farmer, yes, sir. This is an amateur series. Simo saying, let's go the TRT Damas. The whole crew had a great showing yesterday in the amateur class. TRT rider grabbing the overall win yesterday. Didn't even take a moto win, just stayed consistent and it got it done. But once again, we are getting loaded into the race server. And as soon as we get all dialed in, we are most likely going to be going racing pretty much right away. We're going to make sure that we have everything dialed in to go racing here. And before we get into the racing action, anybody got like some predictions on who do we think is going to be taking the overall win here? Or who are you guys rooting for? Probably a lot of you guys are going to be in the race, so probably going to be rooting for yourselves. So where are the championships for the guys? 10 seconds. Amateur time. So where are the championships for the guys? 10 seconds off the amateur times. Yeah, I mean, that is such a tough thing. If you guys didn't check it out, Rico did kind of make a little announcement about that. Unfortunately, just with the amount of time and the crews and all the attention that people just want to be able to give to the game, it is very tough to run multiple series. Usually the kind of saying is if you're not able to make it into the MXB races, really try and grind out, try and play some pub lobbies, play the game as much as possible. A lot of these guys that you'll talk to are into the thousands of hours to even make pro-am or pro racing. So it is not an easy game to just jump in and qualify into. If you could qualify in, everybody would be in here. What up, Mustard? How we doing, brother? Brenda, MXOR novice, MX season. Yeah, no, that is very true. The MXOR crew, they do a whole bunch of different classes. They're not amateurs then. I mean, they still are. If they're not qualifying for pros. I've raced motocross for 22 years of my life. I'm not a pro rider. I'm an A rider, but I'm not pro. So, I mean, it's such a tough thing to narrow into, but let's kick things on down to our track cams as we start to get ready for our racing action here. For Moto 1 here, round number 4 in Spain for the MXL amateur class. Who do we think is going to be taking this one? Dylan, once again, our top qual after cuts. So he is going to be one to be watching out for. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a refresh there. There we go. So riders now heading on down to the gate. See if we can get a quick glance. Hopefully servers running a little better than they were last time. We do have Dylan, a few of the big names in here down towards this inside gates. We saw yesterday race 1 was absolute carnage when it came to turn number 1. So we are going to see, can these amateur guys do any better into this turn 1? We also got Masal Gaiman in there. He is a very fast rider that we're going to be keeping an eye on here in this round 4 in Spain. Tompkins saying Winter, Effie, and Brad is his predictions for race number 1. Those are some very solid choices, but it is interesting leaving Dylan from that Outlaw team off the board. But here we go. Revs are going up as we get ready to go racing for race number 1. As riders make their way down this long start straight, and there it is. The pile of riders go flying, and Dylan on the Outlaw ride grabs the early hole shot, but I do not believe he is going to get the start he was looking for, as he does go down, and it is going to be Squid on the GTC. KTM out into that number 1 position. JB on the Sure Visuals in the number 2 spot. We do have Schmeez on the JDAR. Husqvarna in the number 3 position. Celox in the 4th. And Brad, the privateer rider, just going to be sitting in that 5th position. Celox going to tuck the front. Is going to grab another rider with him. And that is going to allow AS. Is that Ash? Ash? I'm guessing that's how you say it. And Nut. All right there together. LV from this SKLF Designs ride. He is going to be trying to charge his way forward. Currently sitting in about that 6th position, would be my guess. 5th, 6th spot. And finally, Masal with a good start here. So that is going to be one to be watching out for. Got Ash leaping that big triple in as he looks to go after that number 1 position here. And that is held by Schmeez. And Ash having a little bit of an issue there. Swings a touch wide, clips the tree. And the JDAR Star Rider is going to be able to pull away just a little bit. Solo, appreciate the follow there, brother. I do not believe so. Typically, we run an A and B class. Server a little glitchy there. Do apologize for that. But we do have Schmeezy, or Schmeez, however you want to go about it, in the number 1 position, back down that East Action Sports downhill. I don't know if you call that double, triple, whatever it may be, leaping into those rollers. The number 2 spot, though, Ash down to the inside, goes for it, not quite close enough, and he is going to go cartwheeling off the side of the track. And that now opens it up as a few more riders going to be skating through. Man, Server not too happy about the amount of riders that we have here. LV now into that number 2 spot, Nut into the number 3. And I believe that is going to be Winter from the NRD ride. He is going to be running in about 4th position. We do have Brad, the privateer rider, another very fast rider, was 2nd in qualifying. He is going to be charging forward, and that does look like Winter on the ground. That is not going to be good. Celox now trying to make a pass here, as Brad already making the pass for that, about that number 4 spot. Actually now up into the 3 spot. And man, this server is not happy. Yeah, Solo, unfortunately, just not enough time, not enough servers to try and get as many races as we'd like. But as always, we hope to... Yeah, TV cameras suck, though. TV cameras are too jittery, too shaky. It's not the camera, it's the lobby. We were having a little bit of this issue yesterday in the Pro-Am class. It's what happens when you try and jam 40 riders into one server. Typically, halfway through when people start retiring, it gets better. Just gotta guesstimate about where they're gonna be at on track the whole time. Look at that, LV, a much better drive there through that that triple section, and makes a mistake. Tucks the front, goes down, and watches the leader Schmeez absolutely take off there. Nut now up into that number 3 spot and makes the pass for the number 2. And Winter, the NRD rider, now trying to make the pass stick as he is going to work on LV. That is for the number 3 position. Brad, the privateer rider, being passed now by Dylan, the outlaw TM rider, as well as Celox, who is going around the outside after Dylan making a mistake. Drag race down the straightaway. And I don't know what Dylan was doing there. I don't know if he thought that Celox was closer. And that just opens the door. 5 riders all making the pass on him. And that is going to be Vincent, Jack Mark, and I Reynolds all making the pass on Dylan there. So he is going to have to put the burners on if he wants any opportunity to make it up inside this top 3. Ooh, and Jack making a mistake, and it is going to collect Dylan with him. And there is Ash, who was up early. And this is our fastest qualifier, Dylan, who has been struggling to keep consistent. He's been fighting through a lot of this. Other riders, and then just simple mistakes like that, just missing the line. And Ash over that DJ Designs is going to move himself back inside that top 10, I do believe. But as we jump back out to our race leaders, it is going to be Nut, Winter, LV, all right there together. That is going to be 2, 3, and 4. LV trying to work the inside here, not quite close enough to make it happen, but it is our Jadar star rider Shmeez there in the number 1 spot as he makes his way over that 0 double down the hill and leaps back up the hill. Comes up quite short on that inside jump there. He seems to be having a little bit of a gearing issue. I don't know if he's in the wrong gear or not there, but comes up a bit short over the charged CycleWorks tabletop as they duck their way back down through the trees here. One of the more technical sections. This outside getting very rough. We're gonna have to watch the E-road through here additionally to the already rough track. But it is going to be the man Nut on the KTM trying to charge his way forward, currently sitting in that number 2 spot, seeing if he can close the gap in on the number 1 position. Oh, and Shmeez with a mistake allows Nut to make the pass. And now Winter, the NRD rider, going to be going after that number 2 position. 1, 2, and 3 all within the same corner of each other. Look at that, Winter now starting to make his way right to the rear tire here of Shmeez. This is going to be a great battle here between these 2 riders as the NRD ADAPT KTM rider has reeled him in. Both riders getting up over that inside double, but it is going to be the KTM rider Nut who is running in that number 1 spot here. Winter, a much better drive, and he is going to try and late break him down into the corner. And Winter now into that number 2 spot with 10.5 minutes on the clock. What a great pass. Set him up, got a good drive over the tabletop, and that's how he was able to move inside that top 2. Brad, the privateer rider, makes the pass around the outside on Vincent. LV, the next rider, the SKLF Designs. Is that it? D Designs? DS Designs. There we go. Vincent on that Spider Racing. Husqvarna dives down to the inside, avoids the hazard, and is going to be able to move himself up one more position there. I Reynolds, C-Lock still running strong. That is going to be about 7th and 8th. Tyler next up on the list. Jack Mark there in 10th. Do have Ash trying to charge his way forward. Currently shows in 12th as we have Dominic there in 11th. T-Bud, believe that was FE. Ethan, who runs 2nd in points, starting to make a charge there. AB12 is going to be looking back about 18th. We got Crouch. Ethan, Charlie. Who we got there? Austin from the 4D low ride. Ethan, McFry, Dylan from the KXV SPS KTM ride. And there is Masal. So currently sitting in about the 22nd position. And once again, a very fast rider, very good at Supercross. But outdoors has not necessarily gone his way with some rough starts. Masal, the DHFR rider, trying to continue to charge forward as he has the other, I believe that's NDR, right? MDR Colt. Joel's from the Rev X MWS KTM Zip, going to be there from the OTR Racing team. Resurrected Zex, the privateer rider. Koi. We have Squid. Xerox from the RSA Motorsports, Forest Warrior Privateer Rider Ghost from the Zero team. We got Cheeto, we got Nick, Damas. Had a couple fans of him in the chat not having the greatest a ride so far. Drew Anderson and Drake all back here towards the back of the pack. I do believe that is everybody back to our race leader though. And that is going to be Nut, still running in the #1 spot. Winter though, only about a second and a half off the pace of our race leader. So we see these guys make their way down the hill over the Benton Racing big uphill double. Oh, and Nut has crashed. Oh, and he's gonna take Winter with him. And Schmeez now has the opportunity here. Can he make the pass back to the lead? As it is currently 1 and 2. Nut and Schmeez. Winter had the opportunity to make the pass for the lead, but gets clipped and is going to go down. And I do believe that is going to be Brad, the Privateer Rider, fastest qualifier, or no, actually not, second fastest qualifier tonight. Now going to be running up inside that top 3 is Schmeez having some issues as he is going to fall back just a little bit. LV now going to be moving his way up. Schmeez back on the ground. And as they say, when it rains, it pours. And that is exactly what is happening for Schmeez. And look at this, the battle for the lead. Winter has now made the pass for the race lead. 6 minutes left on the clock. And Winter going to be trying to run away with this one as much as he possibly can. Nut down to the inside, gives him a push. And Winter gonna be trying to be careful around him here. He's gonna try and close the door, not quite close enough. And if these guys are not careful, Brad, the Privateer Rider, may have an opportunity. Goes long and comes up just a little short of making the pass on Winter, but is not done as we still have about 5.5 minutes still here to go. And 1, 2, and 3 all still right here together. Not a good line there from Nut, and Winter right up alongside of him. But still just not quite close enough. Dives down to the inside, gets a phenomenal drive out of the corner. And that is going to move him back into the #1 position. Now he has the opportunity to try and run away with this one once again. And Brad, the Privateer Rider, going to try and see if he can jump on this opportunity. Oh, and a little mistake out of Winter. Nut right back into the race lead. We watch this battle from overhead. 3 riders all right there together. Brad gets a great drive through the rollers, but unfortunately that turn files down into 1 or 2 lines. Let's see if Brad tries to check up down to the inside. No, all 3 riders swing wide. And it's interesting, all these riders leaping up the hill, but nobody trying to catch that inside line like we see Brad do, but it does look like Brad's gonna go down. LV is going to be there to capitalize and move himself inside that top 3. And as we make our way back over that Charged Cycle Works tabletop, LV trying to close this gap in just a little bit, has been very patiently waiting back there. And just like that, Nut with a mistake And Winter now into the number 1 position. And with just 3 minutes left on the clock, we are starting to narrow down to our final few laps here in race number 1. Knob kids, appreciate it, brother. Oh, no. Ah, fuck RC. He is one of the goats. I mean, does he have his mistakes? But I mean, RC, his background is where he really shines. I gotta give him credit there. I've never swept pro seasons before, so. But I would absolutely love an opportunity, something like that. But as we watch it though, Winter on the NRD KTM ride, running in that number 1 spot, 2 minutes left to go on the clock. Not in that number 2 spot, LV in the number 3 in Brad, the privateer rider. Once again, a phenomenal ride from him in 4th. Schmeez still holding strong in the top 5. I Reynolds trying to make a challenge to that number 5 position. Tyler looking good here, moving his way up into the 7th position. Ash now getting back onto the pony as he has made his way back up inside that top 10 after a few mistakes early on. Next up on our list is going to be Vincent, the Spider Racing rider. Sealocks, they're in about 11th. And there's quite a big of a gap here. FE comes across the line on the Scalf team. Colt from the MDR ride. T-Bud is well back there in about 15th. Crouch gonna be next up. Ethan shows 16th. There's a battle. Charlie and Zip going side by side, and Masal still trying to charge forward as he currently sits in that 18th spot. Joel's in about the 20th. And as we always like to do, we'll take a look. Coy and Resurrected Dylan and all these guys right here together. Saw Austin make his way across the line there. And so all of those guys right on top of each other, and even all the racing action buried back there outside that top 22. But it is going to be Winter, who still runs very strong in that number 1 spot. LV now moving his way up into the number 2 position. Brad, the privateer rider, sits in the number 3 spot. We do have Schmeez now up into 4th, and not quite sure what happened to him, but Nut sits in the 5th position now. So as the track continues to erode, he is losing a little focus, and now is going to have to deal with the pressure from I Reynolds. And I believe I Reynolds, a Chrome Star rider there on the KTM. Just kind of taking a look at some other riders here as these guys are a little further back. Seeing where all the battles are. That is Forest Warrior, I do believe. We got Nick, Drew Anderson. There is Drake. I believe he is going to be our last rider till, yep, there he is, Winter, the NRD KTM rider, who is going to be grabbing white flag here on this lap. And needs to hold off for one more lap to go. A second and a half separating 1 and 2. There it is, white flag, one last lap to go. And as we already see, LV starting to use some different lines, trying to avoid some of that erode. And that may be crucial here on this final lap. Could Winter make a mistake? Does it open the door for LV to make something happen here? Winter does not get that line very clean, either does LV. And both riders jump up and over the top of that Benton Racing uphill double. Around the right-hander, back down the Charge Cycle Works tabletop. And that gap is closing ever so slightly. LV on that Scalf DS Designs KTM, trying everything he can to hold on to the rear tire there of Winter. And Winter absolutely flying through this corner. That is where he makes up all his time, able to stay tight to the inside. And trying to see when we cross the next timing gate, this gap still sitting at a 1.5 seconds. Winter almost clips the lapped rider who went down. And that gap just became a lot smaller. Winter nerves are flying. But as it looks, the NRD ADAPT rider, Winter, comes across the line for moto number 1. LV, the Scalf DS Designs rider, a great ride from him in that number 2 spot. Brad, the privateer rider, comes across the line in the 3rd position. There is Nut, comes across the line in 4th. I Reynolds, the Chrome Star rider, in 5th. Dominic comes across in front of Schmeez. Vincent, that Spider Racing rider, in 8th. Ash should be next up on the list, and he is for that 9th spot. Great ride from him. Had a great start, fell back, but able to regroup. Tyler and Colt down to the line. Colt is going to have that on cuts, though. Whole bunch of riders piling across the finish line there. Not quite sure even who that was. Believe that was FEC Locks. Ethan. Probably Crouch, T-Bud, Charlie across the line. Does look like Masal and maybe Zip all the way down to the line. Masal does get him on cuts for that 18th position. Coy and Jules. That is going to be 20th, 21st. Dylan across the line. Demas, Resurrected Ghost. I believe that was Zex as well that came across the line. And as always, huge shout out to you guys. Dewarty, appreciate the follow there, brother. Volk as well. Forest Warrior across the line there. Nick, the privateer. Drew Anderson. And as we glance down our list here, these guys back there in the top, or the high 20s and 30s. Squid coming across the line there for that number 31 position. Cheeto, Drake, Austin, Jack, AB, McFry, and Dylan, the Outlaw rider, all retiring out of the race. But once again, some great racing action there for moto number 1. Can never be too mad when your race lead comes down to almost a second. And that race stayed tight the entire way around. So we're gonna kick back, relax for just a half a second, grab a drink of water, as these riders gonna be getting ready to go racing once again for race number 2. And Nomkins, honestly, I mean, I guess it could be possible. Maybe not, and nothing against MXL. I absolutely love all these guys. Maybe not the MXL racing, but I mean, I guess it would be possible for like the aerial stuff. Although it would probably have to be like the LAN events, like the LAN event that happened. Yeah, battle for the lead was crazy. The whole race, I mean, there was 4 people there that could have won. I was wondering where you disappeared to. Saul saying that his controller disconnected. Say, I saw you up front, was wondering where you went. Gotta love it. I feel like cord versus wireless, so you're like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But hey, that is why they give us 2 races to do. Moto Nation saying, yeah, I mean, definitely the competitive edge, but I mean, honestly, would any of us really notice a difference? Tompkins charging his phone between motos. Just run a different cable for your phone. Like I have a different cable that just runs to the other side of my desk with my phone. Oh, I got cables all over the place. But to be fair, I do have... I have 4 monitors, I guess you could say. But I also have my workstation here as well. So, like, I basically have two totally different setups on one desk. Moto Nation, my cable situation is not clean. No, my cable management has a few zip ties holding a few things together, and that's really about it. There's nothing on the there's a power strip on the floor. Other than that, everything's off the ground. But as we're just yapping our way over here, Moto number 2 is getting ready to go underway. Gate is down and we are going racing for the MXL amateur class, Moto number 2. And it looks like we might get a cleaner start. Oh, maybe not really. Looks like netcode a little better, but riders not so much, as Celox was accredited with the whole shot. And he is going to be running in that number 1 position here, but is going to make a mistake. Nut now into that number 1 position. LV in the mix as well. Celox in that number 2 spot. Reynolds from the Chrome Star team is going to be running in that number 4 spot. And that is Celox over the top of the berm. And Schmeez as well. So basically our top 5 all right back to where they were. Except for this man right here, Resurrected. A phenomenal start from him, as he's going to be charging his way down this hill and running in that number 4 spot. Looks like LV already looking for the opportunity to make the pass here. But the question is, where is Winter? And it does look like timing and scoring is going to show him buried back there in about 21st. Masala much better start here as he gets crazy. Able to hold on to that one. Schmeez going to be in that 5th position. Do believe we got Colt in the mix as well. Jack, Crouch, Ethan, FE from that Scaff KTM ride. Joel's Winter, there he is. So already making some quick work, as he wants this win here tonight. over that Ace Moto triple, and he is charging here early on in Moto number 2. That really wasn't a terrible start for how bad it has been. But while we were talking about it though, the lead has changed. LV has made the pass for that number 1 spot on that SCAF. DS Designs KTM, who runs in that number 1 spot here early on. And as we all know though, this is a long race. And the E-Road is getting worse and worse, seeing LV dive down 1 line early so he does not get trapped into some of that E-Road. Resurrected now trying to make a move up here a little further, and he currently sits in that number 2 spot. So great start here. Shmee's going to be in that number 3 position. Reynolds from the Chrome Star in the 4th. Misal Crouch battling out. That is going to be 5th and 6th. And I do believe we just had, I think Nut may have retired, who was a top 5 finisher in Moto number 1. Little Hootie, appreciate the follow there, brother. Shout out Shmeez. And what do you mean lap 1's not over? We're already at 16 minutes. We're 4 minutes in. Helmet cam is horrible. I'll show you guys what helmet cam looks like. He doesn't even have it. Oh, there we go. It's so shaky. On board with LV, our race leader here, as he makes his way around that very shaded area. This is a very tricky side of the track. E-Road, as you can see around the outside, getting destroyed. But look at that inside line that he has been working. He has taken that from Winter from that last race. Ooh, and he's getting crazy through the roller section. Able to hold on to that as he still holds on to about a 6.5 second lead. Leaps over that big triple and gets over the double out. So he is absolutely flying here. Seeing what he can do up and over Ace Moto triple here before the finish line. Over the finish line, and there is a lap on board of our race leader. What is helicopter? Interesting. Yes, sir. Is helicopter just a stationary camera that has a few glitches here and there? We're a better drone pilot than that is. But there it is. LV still running away with this one. Almost 7.5 seconds out in front of the number 2 spot of Resurrected. That number 3 spot, Reynolds on the Chrome Star team, trying to make a charge here, see what he can do. Misal a much better ride here, running in that number 4 spot, battling it out with Austin, who is going to clip that little wall there. We saw a few people in the Pro-Am class yesterday get absolutely destroyed by that. That is going to open the door for the 4D lowrider Crouch to move up another spot there into the number 5 position. We do have Jack as well in 7th. Damas, the TRT factory rider, much better start here as he runs inside that top 10. That is going to be Dominic as well. Joel's from that Rev X team. there is Winter, our race 1 winner, who is outside the top 10. Still trying to make a charge here as we are almost halfway through race number 2, and has another 4D lowrider, Austin, who must have had a mistake there, as he is now behind Winter, and Dylan, the KXV rider, he's gonna make a mistake. T-Bud on the CMS ride, FE on Scalf, Drake, Tyler, Zex, Brad, the privateer rider. There is Vincent, Colt, Drew, Ethan, and Schmeez. Lohudi, Schmeez got a lot of camera time last race as he was running up front early on. Almost getting tangled up there over the finish line. Gonna have to change a bit of his line here. Ooh, and he is gonna swing wide. Throws the block pass on Drew there. We're watching the battle here. This is for that 10th position. Winter and Austin going side by side. And Austin is going to take a tumble as he loses the front end out of that turn. Dominic still on the rear tire here of DeMoss, that TRT factory KTM rider. Looks like everybody has a battle of their own, and Jack not quite sure what happened there. Yes, sir. I mean, if you're getting cut, I mean, if I remember looking at 139, that is very easily Pro-Am, which happened yesterday. And you don't have to thank me, brother. If you're running up in the front, you're gonna get some camera time, so. But speaking of camera time, these two guys, Resurrected was buried early in race 1, now gets a much better start running in that number 2 spot. Reynolds from the Chrome Star team in the number 3 spot. That is Dominic, who is making a charge. Resurrected on the ground. And Reynolds is going to move up 1 more position. Dominic is going to pick up 1 as well. That is going to be the TRT rider, DeMoss. Up and over our heads, Crouch, the 4D lowrider, in 6th is going to have Jack Mark there in 7th. And Winter still trying to make that charge up inside that top 10. May have some cuts here, or our timing just has not caught up. And I think this has to be our best battle on track, as we are looking at quite a few riders all piled up here together. Jack with a bit of a mistake. Crouch is going to make the pass stick. Winter now trying to move around the outside, not quite close enough to take the line away, as all 3 riders leap for that triple. Winter going to come up short. Somehow able to keep that bike on 2 wheels though, but his ankles are definitely going to be feeling that one. Oh, and Jack does not get that triple in. And if Winter can put some solid laps here, he does have about 4 to 5 riders all within reaching distance. Crouch is on the ground over the finish line jump, so all of these riders going to be moving up 1 more position. And I hate to say it, but not much going on at the front of this race. LV on that Scalf DS Designs KTM absolutely running away with this one, as he has about a 20-second lead over the rest of the field. Dominic now moving his way all the way up into that number 2 spot. Reynolds in the number 3. Resurrected going to be showing 4th. DeMoss 5th. Jack in that 6th spot. Indeed, yeah, he is the points leader, right? Good call. Yeah, he is That points leader, Ethan, running in that number 2 spot, and Vincent from the Spider Racing team, he is 3rd in our points series. So LV looking to expand on that and try and run away with the amateur MXL GP title. Mackenzie's, who's your boy? Zeplexity? Yeah, oh yeah, we talked about him earlier. And he's outside the top 22. Yep. There's FE, so he's 12th. Zex, Vincent, that's 13, 14. Colt, Brad, T-Bud, Tyler, that is Drake, Cheeto, I believe. Schmeezy, not the ride that he was looking for in race 2. Ethan, Charlie, Coy, Xerox, Drew. Forest Warrior, the privateer rider. Nick as well, both privateer riders. He might not even be racing anymore. He may have retired. Squid. And there's our race leader, LV, so he may have retired out of the race already. I think he was right around mid-pack in Moto 1. But it is the Skelf DS Designs rider, the red plate holder, continuing to run away with this one. 16-second lead over that number 2 spot of Dominic, who has chewed away at it just a little bit. It was 20 seconds, and Dominic has been absolutely flying here on the KXV SPS KTM. Curious to see, does he have pace? About 5.5 minutes to go, and as we say it, he is going to go down from that E-Road. That is just like we had mentioned early on, is this E-Road is going to get tricky. These riders may have to try and find some new lines that may not be as bad. But I Reynolds still running strong on that Chrome Star in the number 3 position. Jack Mark battling it out still with Winter and Crouch. Does look like DeMoss having a few little mistakes. Joel's in the mix. Resurrected on the ground allows Austin around the outside, and Masal still hanging strong inside that top 10 possibly. And these guys are absolutely gone from the rest of the field as we see Zex, the privateer rider, battling it out with Vincent, who is number 3 in points here in the AMS class. Brad, the privateer rider, over that Benton Racing uphill double. I believe it's uphill, maybe ever so slightly. Well, let's see if we can catch back up with our 2nd and 3rd spot, as we have Dominic running in that number 2 position. 12.5 seconds now separating 1 and 2. LV cannot slack here too much, as Dominic and I Reynolds have been pushing the pace all race long. Maybe they found a line that LV does not know about. And there goes another second. Yeah, it is very tricky. I mean, some big jumps, some small jumps, some fast sections, slow sections. A little tricky to dial the bikes in for this race, but it does look like our front few guys have figured it out. And it does look like I Reynolds and Dominic really have it dialed in, as these guys have been absolutely flying here as the E-Road continues to just run through this track. They are slowly closing in on LV, 11.5 second gap now. 3 minutes still here to go. As that Scalf DS Designs KTM rider running strong in the number 1 spot has been out there almost all race long. So he's gonna leap his way over that Zero Racewear triple. Dominic as well, getting it very clean. So I wonder if E-Road's actually helping it there, getting the pop over that triple. And it does look like Reynolds may have fallen off the pace just a little bit, as almost every lap Dominic is clicking a second off that leader gap. 2.5 minutes left here in race number 2. Can LV hold on, as he has about 3 laps to go? This is where all the training and practice comes into play. Did he just train for fast laps, or was he riding for consistency? And look at that, dives down to a tighter line there. So he is starting to pick up some smarter lines, dodging some of that E-Road. But once again, that gap slowly closing in ever so slightly, as he is going to lose another 0.5 second to Dominic. And as soon as Dominic starts to see him here, that is when the race is on. 9.5 seconds, so half a track he's shaved off, almost an entire second there. And I gotta say, I think Dominic has quite a bit of cuts, and that is actually hurting him quite a bit here. And with a minute left, heading towards that finish line, LV is going to cross the line before time expires. So there it is. We are going to have about 2 laps to go, I believe. And Dominic still running strong in that number 2 spot. Reynolds has kind of settled into place in that number 3 spot. Jack Mark going to be next up on the line in 4th, but has Winter, the NRD rider, race 1 winner, right there on his rear tire, looking to make a pass here. Not quite close enough. But I do believe that is going to be the battle all the way down to the line. And I am keeping an eye on that race lead gap. Dominic has it down to about 8.5 seconds. But Winter still on the charge. As we saw early on in the race, he was buried almost outside that top 22 and has made the charge all the way up to 5th. Reynolds over that big DJ Designs tabletop. And Winter has made the pass, so he has moved himself up into the number 4 spot, trying to hold on the best he can to a podium position. 2 laps, as we can see, top left, so white flag going to be out here for LV. Can he hold on for 1 more lap? We are going to find out. Does Dominic have what it takes to close this gap in? It is back up to 9 seconds. And there is a couple lapped riders, so that could play a factor here. LV trying to do everything he can on that Scalf DS Designs KTM ride to bring it home for the number 1 spot here, back down that East Action Sports downhill one more time. W Lapper for moving out of the way here. And LV still trying to charge forward and run away with this one as he has all moto long. Dominic right there has the speed. Oh, a little bobble there before the DJ Designs tabletop. Oh, and he clips the hay bale. Dominic goes down on the KXV KTM. So LV with 2 corners to go over the Ace Moto Triple one final time. The Scalf DS Designs KTM rider ran away with it early on and held off the pressure. LV is gonna get it done here in race number 2. And a great ride from the KXV KTM rider who grabs the number 2 spot, Dominic. Reynolds gonna be the next one on the list. The Chrome Star rider, great ride from him for that number 3 spot. I believe we are going to have Jack here next up on our list. Crouch and Winter right there together. And Jack does come across the line for that number 4 spot. Crouch in 5th, and Winter comes across the line there in 6th. DeMoss on the TRT ride has some issues. And man, he throws away the 7th place to Austin on that 4D low. KTM in 7th, DeMoss 8th, Resurrected 9th. I believe Joel's Vincent Massal in 12th. That is going to be Zex in 13th, T-Bud in 14th. Colt, the MDR rider, there in 15th. Ethan should be next up on our list as he battles down to the very line with FE and Cheeto. Drake is going to lose a spot there, but Drew not going to have it there on cuts. The Brad, the Privateer rider, Coy, the Nexus co-rider in 22nd. Scroll down our list here just a little bit. Forest Warrior over the line, 23rd. Shmee's not the ride he was looking for, 24th. Xerox there in 25th. Charlie across the line, and he is going to be our final rider as he grabs 27th. Tyler, 28th. Squid, Ghost, and Dylan all retiring out of this race. But once again, great ride from that Scalf DS Designs rider. LV gets it done. And Dominic in that number 2 spot thought he was going to have it, but not quite close enough. Reynolds as well. Great ride from him in that number 3 position. Let's kick things on back down to the booth here just for a little bit until we get our overall results in. If you guys are in that top 3, make sure you guys are joining in to the special media Discord. Hop on in to the podium. Once again, the podium, not where everybody else is at. And I will drag you on into the booth. We'll get a quick word from you. But as always, huge shout out to everybody for hanging out with us here. I know a lot of people start dropping off here, but I always like to do thank you guys. Keensy, appreciate that follow there as well, brother. Not quite sure if I picked up on that one. But thank you guys for all hanging out with us here tonight. It was an absolute blast. Top 3 is going to go LV for the overall win. Winter on that NRD ride in the number 2 spot, and Dominic is going to grab it on that KXV SPS KTM ride for the number 3 position. If you guys are one of those 3 guys, join up on the special media Discord, jump into the podium, and we will drag you on in for the podium speech. There's no pressure. You guys don't have to, but would love to shout out the sponsors. Love to get a quick word from you guys. Whew, that was a lot of talking, a lot of action going on here in the amateur class, and always a fantastic time with all of these guys as the action is very close each and every week that we race. As always, huge shout out to MXL, Rico, and the whole crew for hosting and running these race events. I know it is not an easy task. Make sure you guys are understanding for all the decisions that these guys make. They try and make it the best organized race series that they can be. And so just huge shout out to that whole crew as well. TPR, Toasty, and those guys. I know I got to talk to them. I think they're talking about coming out with a new race series, quote unquote. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. AB Customs, TH Visuals, Speed Photography, the homie Dean, VM Visuals for all of the things that you guys see in the stream, the overlays, the booth, the podiums, everything that you guys see. Huge shout out to VM Visuals, and obviously the title sponsor, Club MX. Huge shout out to those guys. Phenomenal facility, and can't thank all of them enough. But as we are hanging out here, Nick, whoa, appreciate that follow as well. If you guys aren't following, make sure you guys hit that follow button. We are doing a 1,000 follower giveaway. That 1,000 follower giveaway is going to consist of, I know for sure, a TH Visual Special Media Edition bike. It'll be pretty much a one of one. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button to get entered into that drawing as well. We might be putting together some, maybe some renders, some free renders from VM Visuals to go along with the graphics. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button, joining the special media crew, and showing some love. If you guys are looking for a place to come hang out, have some good laughs, we always got a bunch of guys all hanging out in our open lounge on the special media Discord. There's about, I don't know, 6-7 people hanging out in there right now. So if you guys are looking to go play some bikes, jump on in there. Does it look like we do have Winter, who has joined up on the podium, grabs that number 2 spot. So let's go ahead and grab a quick word from him. Winter, what is going on, brother? How are we doing?
We're doing pretty good, man.
Good to hear, man. Hey, got it done, Moto number 1. Take us through Moto 2. That did not seem like the start that we were looking for.
Oh no, yeah. I tried to check up a little bit on the start there, and it worked out pretty well. And I just kind of got hit over to the side and crashed, and ended up, I think, in dead last there for a little bit, and had to work my way up. So I'm that second moto, I'm happy with a 6th. I definitely could have got 4th if I choked the last like 2 laps. I think I went down twice in the last 2 laps, which is, but that's whatever. I'm happy with the 6th overall in that moto, especially coming from the back.
I was going to say, I think when we checked in to see where you were at, you were outside the top 22, and then just continued to charge forward. And I mean, as we were watching throughout the whole race, you're just moving up just little by little. And hey, as we always talk about in the world of motocross and the game of bikes, that's how you win championships, and that's how you get yourself up onto the podium each and every week is consistency. And man, you've been showing it. Love to see it.
Sir,
and
thank you.
yes, sir. Obviously grabbing that number 2 spot overall tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's racing?
Oh yeah, I've got to shout out NRD. Those are my boys once again, and of course you for streaming, and Rico for putting it all together.
Yeah, of course, brother. And appreciate you coming out racing with us. Obviously, it wouldn't be any fun if nobody showed up. So,
right, for sure, yeah.
But once again, man, congratulations on that number 2 spot. Hopefully, we just keep seeing you here week after week. As I know it's not a long series, but there's still some opportunities to get yourself up inside that top 3 for the championship.
Oh yeah, I hope to be here.
Awesome, brother. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you very much.
Yep. See you, man.
See ya.
All right. I do not see anybody else. So I think we are going to go ahead and start to wrap things up. Once again, huge shout out to everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. If you guys don't know, we always raid after the stream, kind of a pretty standard thing. So we go follow or jump into another streamer's channel. If you guys can, just shoot them a follow, shoot them a message in the chat, say what's up, show that special media is bringing the community to everybody. It means the world to me. And as well, we always try and find guys that are down in the low viewer count. But that is going to do it for round number 4 here in Spain for the MXL Amateur Racing Series. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us, and we will catch you guys next week. Oh, also, PCK Thursday. Make sure you guys are signing up. Tracks are absolutely awesome, and they are a fantastic tracks and race series. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that and all of the racing action that we got coming up here in the near future. Hope everybody has a great rest of your night, and we will catch you later. Deuces!
Tony calls.
See, I'm back on my. See, I'm back on my bullshit. Ayy, see, I'm back on my bullshit. Came a long way from school, bitch. We them niggas been banging and walking with full clips. Pocket filled with them blue strips. All I hang with the silent, can't fuck with no loose lips. If he ran, cut him loose quick. If a fuck nigga try, bet his ass make the news quick. Hit his ass with these blue tips. But these niggas won't shoot shit. Cause these peons ain't stepping how my niggas stepping. Walk them down, but that teach them a lesson. I been kicking shit cool and got paper like Messi. Bitch, I'm Zion, yo old nigga red. She say that she love how my big ass be dressing. How that Audemars go with that neck. My features are dub, my shoulders a blessing. I got paper, I ain't doing no stress. The one who put all this together, that gave me something good and I made that shit better. Turned up the notch, my watch changed up the weather. I'm bigger and better, shit bigger than ever. Thought they was running shit, I had to